What is going on, everybody? John Impemba here with Iggy Gilbert. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm Fantasy Football Thursday Night Football Game Day live show. We have the Miami Dolphins in Buffalo taking on the Buffalo Bills tonight with an AFC East matchup of two teams that are starting in two different directions here. The Dolphins struggling to get in the year, sitting at 0-2. You have the Buffalo Bills obviously coming off of their huge win last week against the New York Jets. You had that big comeback from win in week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens. How are you feeling about tonight's matchup, man?
It should be one tilted. I mean, there's a huge spread out there, but it's Thursday night. I feel like it's always generally lower scoring than people anticipate. And I expect the defenses to do a little bit better. Allen's nose could be still swollen. We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. So, guys, we appreciate all of you who are going to be tuning in. If you do have questions, you can throw them in the chat. You'll see them pop up on the screen. Again, I will be here to help you guys set any start-sit questions you might have today. We'll give out our favorite bets of the day. And, of course, we'll build a DFS lineup, showdown lineup for all of you there as well. Injury news-wise, you didn't obviously mention Josh Allen got injured with the nose last week. Didn't really impact them. He's able to come back in the game, and there's no injury designation for him here today. Jalen Waddle was somebody that we were monitoring. It does seem like he is going to play. He's dealing with a shoulder injury. Was supposed to go through pregame warmups and just kind of test it out, but there were reports this afternoon that there is the expectation that he will suit up here today. Do you have any concerns at all with Waddle? This is a player that's obviously dealt with various injuries over the last few years. Plenty of times he's played through injuries, which have ultimately seen him leave games early. Like, where are you and what are your feelings on Jalen Waddle tonight?
Being injured and going into a Thursday night game, Jonathan, is not ideal. We saw Austin Eckler, who wasn't even injured, just snap his Achilles, maybe to no rest. I personally have Waddle in about 2 or 3 redraft leagues. I've set him all this week just to be on the air of caution. He may not even get that many targets. Thursday night football, if they get blown out, they may just be like, we need you to rest, get this extra week and a half to recover. But yeah, but the good thing is Matt Milano's out. He might be covering some on the slant. So that might be helping. And Ed Oliver's out. So that might help give, Tua a little bit more time. Still got Bosa. You still got Rousseau. But, the middle of that defense is wide open right now.
Yeah, listen, and Andrew Cooper obviously is our big tight end guru, but he likes to talk a lot about defenses at times as well. And he talks about, Matt Milano is an elite tight end cover guy when he's on the field. Unfortunately, he just misses a lot of time. There isn't necessarily a tight end that you're looking to target on the Dolphin side of things here in tonight's matchup. But, again, like you said, could open up some things there with the middle of their defense. The spread of this game tonight's 12.5. I've seen a lot of people actually maybe feeling a bit more bullish on Miami going into this matchup, feeling that McDaniel is really feeling the heat. They nearly pulled off that win against New England last week. If it wasn't for Achane stepping out of bounds there, what is it that Miami needs to get going here to kind of turn the season around?
Well, I mean, they didn't just get whooped by the Patriots as much as Coop and you might like to spin that narrative that New England just won that game dominantly.
I said they just nearly lost,
On the show Monday, Coop was he was exaggerating before he came back to reality. But I mean, Tyreek Hill might have a good game. The corners of Buffalo is probably their weak point. So there's potential, I think, for Tyreek Hill, Waddle, maybe if he's healthy. There's no Waller. So it really goes back to Achane. I think they're going to drop it off to him a lot and let him work against kind of bad coverage. But I think 12.5 is a little bit too much, honestly, on a Thursday night football game. I just, it's a divisional game. I know the Dolphins look terrible. The coaching situation, we need to get that soundbite for McDaniel's interview, which is just terrible. But I expect it to be closer than 12.5. Tua is still a decent quarterback. He led the league in yards. What was that, 3 years ago? So, I mean, there's still potential for them to keep this close. And like I said, it's a divisional game. You just don't put it, I remember the old commercial about the guy in the Dolphins and they're all throwing snowballs at him, right? This is an old rivalry. So I expect it to be closer than 12.5, honestly, Jonathan.
Yeah. Listen, obviously you think divisional games should technically, usually played a little bit. For me, it's a short week, right? We see these short week games sometimes be a bit more competitive. Obviously last week we had the Green Bay Packers and Commanders in that matchup. For a game total tonight between these two, again, with the 12.5 spread, I actually see it now at 11.5 over on ESPN Bet. It's still a 50.5 total, though. These Thursday night football games historically in the past that have been rather low scoring. Do you think we see a high scoring game tonight? Would you take the over or under on the 50.5?
You know what? To be 100% honest with you and everybody else, I took the under on 49.5 and combined it with the 12.5 because that's what makes sense to me.
Sure.
If this turns into a 3 touchdown, 5 field goal game, we've still cleared the total by quite a bit, honestly. So, it's a short week, like you just said. These tend to catch people not ready, underprepared. Body is not recovered yet this early in the season. So I like the under, and if you like that bet, it's on our bet tracker plus 357 at DraftKings. So
yeah, we got a couple other bets that we want to talk about here tonight as well. We'll get to Ann's question right now, though. Our friend Rowdy from the chat, Ann Dunn, wants to know Keon Coleman tonight or Cooper Kupp on Sunday. Obviously, Seahawks get a home matchup against the New Orleans Saints this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question, man. I don't have Coleman's target share, but like Josh Allen showed to us, there's weeks he's just not going to have a lot of yards. He's not going to throw a touchdown, and that makes me want to think I'm going to rely on Kupp against Darnold. Against the Saints have a surprisingly decent offense. I know it's the home of the 12th man and all up there in Seattle, so it's harder to beat for a road team, particularly a dome team, to go out there and win. But I think that the Saints give them enough of a push that Kupp has to stay involved. Obviously, JSN's being the target monster right now, but I trust Kupp to come in and make some plays. I would personally rather have Kupp than Coleman on a Thursday game.
Sure. Yeah, listen, and the target share for him right now is at 22%. Obviously, last week, he was primarily covered by Sauce Gardner, which is going to, generally take you out of a game. Plus, that wasn't a passing game script. They were blowing out the Jets the entire time. So if you think this game was going to be more competitive, then maybe so, but you're also taking the under there. I don't mind Kupp. I think sitting Coleman on Thursday on a short week here could certainly play up a little bit. Looking at some of our favorite bets for tonight, you and I sort of have a play that might be correlated a little bit. If you go over to Fantasy Time, you can click the betting tab there. You'll get my NFL player props for tonight. One play that I do have in there is Devon Achane, 4.5 yards receiving for the first quarter. I think I took that over an underdog tonight. Yes, first quarter stats and plays are obviously risky. We don't know time of possession. We don't know even if he gets on the field if they'll even look to target him, but they do like to throw to him a ton. He is very much involved in the passing game, and you just need 5 yards in the first quarter receiving for Devon Achane, a guy that if they do throw a screen can take it, the distance. So for me, I went over that, but you also like a receiving total for Achane tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he had 93 receiving yards, I believe, last week. He had over 90 receiving yards last week. So I teased up his line to 70-plus receiving yards. We already talked about it. Joey Bosa, man, he had that big play to impact the game against the Jets. He made that play early on in the first quarter. He's used more heavily in the first half. So I think that's a great observation with Bosa possibly coming off the edge. Tua just jumps it right over into Achane. He scampers for a little bit, but I think he's going to continue to be a check down. We know, talking about this offseason, Jonathan, that Tua loved dumping it off to Achane. So I'm expecting another repeat performance. I didn't quite tease it up to 90, but I got this at plus 425, and it's over at the bet tracker as well. Just throwing out some big haymakers on this Thursday night because I think Achane's going to get quite a bit of volume.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Running back on the other side of that one, my favorite play of today is going with the rushing yards with James Cook. You get him there, obviously, in a spot. I started at 68.5. I've seen it up to 70.5, really depending on what book you're using. Ran for 130 yards last week against the Jets. Again, a spot where they are 12.5 point favorites. So if Vegas is right and this game isn't close, you're going to see James Cook just kind of get a heavy workload here. You saw the Dolphins last week give up almost 5 yards a carry to Ramondre Stevenson. Jonathan Taylor ran for over 70 yards in week 1 against them. And as much as we talk about Josh Allen and how he kind of runs the ball a lot and likes to throw, they are leaning more on the running game with James Cook. They paid him, and they're willing to let him use the work horse for them there. So I like the rushing yards tonight over for James Cook. And then I have him also for the first touchdown tonight as well. Plus 425 for him to score the first touchdown. I was going to do anytime touchdown, but it's minus 175 for him to score a touchdown tonight. So I felt like, I don't really want to pay that juice. So why not bet on the first touchdown score tonight for James Cook at the plus 425 mark?
I love it. Yeah, I mean, Cook's one of the guys I didn't take out for this Thursday night matchup. I took out Coleman and I took out Waddle. I took out Palmer in a couple leagues. So, but I'm sticking with Cook. I'm still sticking with Hill. There's some players I'm still riding with, obviously. And for me, I got Kincaid anytime touchdown. It's at
Okay.
plus 280. He's already caught one this season. Mika Fitzpatrick, he's playing back in the zone, but he's just so much smaller, honestly, than Kincaid. Even if they're locked up in a man match down there in the red zone, Josh Allen can just rifle it. Kincaid catch it up high, and there's not really anybody on that defense that's going to be able to do something about that.
Yeah.
So, Milano being out as well, good coverage linebacker, that just opens up the opportunities more for Kincaid. So I like it at plus 280,
Yeah, no, I like that one as well. You mentioned Joey Bosa earlier. I actually also took Joey Bosa 1+ sack tonight at plus 110. We saw the Dolphins give up 5 sacks to the Patriots last week. They gave it 3 sacks to the Colts in week 1. Joey Bosa got his first sack of the season on a sack fumble on Fields last week. Again, this is a guy with multiple 10+ sack seasons. He's been dealing with a couple of injuries, over the last few years here. But first season in Buffalo, again, if this is a spot where you're going to have to see Tua drop back and pass because he's trying to keep them in this game with Buffalo, it's just going to create more opportunities for Bosa to come off the edge. They're going to kind of let those guys get after the quarterback if they have a lead, especially on passing downs. They're going to look to blitz and give opportunities for Bosa to kind of stunt around the line and make some plays there. So Bosa needing just 1 sack tonight. I generally look for the half sack lines. They didn't have any available that I saw, so I took Bosa 1+ sack at plus 110 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. And for people that don't bet a lot of sacks, that's a pretty low odds. Most of the time, people come in 200 or so at least on a sack, especially on 1 sack.
Yeah.
So the bookies are anticipating Bosa getting the 2 as well. So I like that.
Yeah, so those are some of the plays that I have. Again, you can find the rest of them from me over at Fantasy Alarm. Again, we have the NFL Bet Tracker, myself, Iggy, Mark Lammy. All of our picks are in there. Mark's been killing it this year with his picks and predictions. You can check that out. You got anything else for us, Iggy?
Just one more, just shot in the dark, 50% boost. A lot of these max out at a certain amount of money. But man, I boosted 3,000 Alec Ingle touchdown, get down on the goal line, hand it to the fullback like we talked about, no Ed Oliver, so they can maybe punch it through to the defensive tackle. What's that? Plus 4,500. Why not? Small percentage, 0.1, 0.2 of a unit, something like that on it. But
you were telling me he scores a touchdown every year, right? So maybe
he scored one last year. So get it in this year. Get it over with.
we got a DFS question from Ryan. He wants to know Waddle for captain. Now we kind of talked about it. Ryan may have missed it, but Waddle was coming into tonight's game with an injury. Was supposed to go through pregame workouts, kind of test it out. There's been some early reports that the shoulder injury is not going to hold him out of tonight's game. So there is the expectation of him suiting up. But this is a player that again has historically dealt with injuries. And plays with these injuries. That kind of also then hampers what his production can end up being. How do you feel about Waddle as a captain option tonight?
I mean, if you're putting multiple lineups in a GPP, why not? Because I don't think a lot of people are going to do that. Personally, I would not do it, but I'm not somebody that puts a bunch of lineups in, particularly on a showdown game. So I personally wouldn't do it. But if you, like I said, multiple lineups, go for it.
Yep. Waddle as a captain is $13,200 on DraftKings. He's your quick math here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th highest priced play tonight on the DraftKings slate. If you're building a DFS showdown lineup tonight, Iggy, where would you look to begin things?
Man, I really think Tyreek Hill's going to have 100 and a touchdown. Okay. But I don't know that it'll all come in volume, but I really like Achane this week. I realize he's expensive though. So, we'd be putting a lot of money down on our captain, but I just think he's going to get receptions. He's going to get carries and he's going to get a touchdown or 2.
Yeah. I mean, if we did Achane, we'd pair him up with Kincaid again, your anytime touchdown play, probably go with some kickers.
Yeah. I want Prater for sure. He's 5,000, but still.
Prater with the big leg there. That's $7,800 a play. Let's see. Anybody else that you're looking at for value? Jalen Wright's going to be active tonight. Malik Washington.
Can he return another kick for us?
Yes. All right. No kidding. Josh Palmer's not bad at $4,800.
Yeah, he's not. He got 11 point, he got 6.7. They just didn't throw that much. He only had 3 targets, but
Yeah,
9 the first week.
9 the first week, so that's a pretty decent value play. That gives us 93 for two guys. Coleman, Shakir would allow us to get up. I feel like you probably want Josh Allen.
Yeah. We
Which
can't get Cook in there too somehow, can we?
not for both. If we did, we could do Cook. Actually, if we did Cook instead of Allen, 8K would give us a Coleman or Shakir match here.
Which one do you like better out of those two?
Coleman's more the downfield guy. I feel like the bigger plays come with Coleman.
I do too.
That gives us 5 Buffalo and then a 8-chan captain play. Let's see if we go a little bit different of a value play at captain.
Yeah, let's see if we can.
Let's see.
What about?
What do we want to do for a captain here?
How much is Coleman? Coleman's still over 10.
Yeah, Coleman's 10K. That would give us 8K a play. If we kind of went back and did the Prater Palmer, that's 10K. That gives us Allen, 8-chan, and Shakir. So that still gives us the 5 Buffalo stack, but it does get us Josh Allen, and it gets us Devon 8-chan still.
That's pretty good right there. And we got the kicker for ones that don't end in touchdowns. So
yeah. So guys, just an example lineup here. Obviously, if you go spend up on a Cook or an Allen or whatever in captain, you're going to have to, play some defenses, play some kickers to get your kind of lineup builds going. But if you do have DFS Showdown questions, our guy Dan Malin has the DFS Showdown playbook live on Fantasy Alarm. Also, he is in the Discord answering your questions. Right now, we still have the 7-day free trial going on. And you see the scroll at the bottom, fantasyalarm.com/win to pick your promo. Promo still live right now. It ends Sunday, though. Final week to get 25% off our all pro products, whether it's monthly or annual. It's access to all sports, not just the NFL, but NHL starting up in a couple of weeks. Chris Murray released his NHL preseason content for the rankings, sleepers, busts, and rookies to get you guys ready for your fantasy hockey drafts. NBA season's a month away. We'll have the NBA cheat sheet coming around. That comes out as all part of the All Pro package. So it's not just football. If you sign up, you get all sports, 25% off monthly and annual there. Bringing the chat back up. We'll hide our screen for the DraftKings board here for a second. LeBron's wants to know, would you trade Dak, Shaheed, and RJ Harvey for Swift and Mooney? Swift, his handcuff in Mooney is, you talk about Monangai, I'm imagining. So we're talking Dak, Shaheed, and Harvey. So Swift, Monangai, and Mooney. He's already got Josh Allen, so he doesn't really need Dak. What do you think there?
Yeah, I think you would. I mean, I like Swift. He's injured. I mean, you're getting your handcuff. Mooney sees a lot of the field. He doesn't. The targets are consolidated there. Coop and I talked about that Monday for Mooney. But if you need a running back pretty bad and there's nothing on the waiver wire, I would say yes.
He needs RB that badly. I'm good with that. I'm good with that as well. And then Robert says he's got Kraft, but Kraft came up with the tight end with the injury here today. Coop said that the Packers have a week 5 bye, I think it was. So may have a couple of weeks now where Kraft may not suit up while they kind of rest them through the bye week here. So Robert Stone for a half-point PPR wants to know, do you pick up Jatavion Sanders, Harold Fanning, or Cade Otton?
I'm going Fanning. I mean, Green Bay's got good secondary, but Fanning's had like 4 or 5 catches both games.
Yeah, played 65% of the snaps last week as well, so there wasn't a huge snapshot share drop off. So
Flacco runs about 50 passes, I feel like, every game with his pace. So I like Fanning, honestly.
Yeah, I would go Fanning there as well. And then Michael wants to know, start Jacoby or Egbuka. The problem with Egbuka has been the injury, right? He hasn't practiced yet this week. Chris Godwin has been practicing. It makes you wonder if Godwin's now practicing because they know that Egbuka probably isn't suiting up this week. And maybe we get Godwin back a few weeks sooner than we expected. Obviously, we don't need to make this decision right now, Michael, with the games being this weekend. But Jacoby Myers is seeming like the healthier option with the way things are trending for Egbuka. Egbuka would be in a good spot knowing that Tampa Bay finally home after 2 road starts here. Nick wants to know our favorite captain. You had obviously mention Achane if you can get Devon Achane in there. I think both running backs tonight would be the way I would go, whether Achane or Cook as your captain spot. We did just build a quick GPP lineup. I'll throw that back up on the board for everybody. It does have Keon Coleman as the captain there. I'll see, hide the overlay. Coleman, Prater, Palmer, Allen, Achane, and Shakir with $200 left over. So you could check that one out. But again, difficult spending up when there's not a ton of value. You'd have to find some ways using multiple kickers or defense to get Achane and Cook in there with some other viable plays there tonight with your lineups. Michael saying Ibuka was a partial participant in practice today, which is good. I thought the last one I saw that he wasn't practicing with the groin injury there. So let's see, what's the latest Ibuka practice report?
Let's see.
Let's see. Yeah, so the last report that I saw was that he wasn't at the media portion, I guess, of practice today.
Let's see.
Let's see. Do we have a more recent update?
I'll just have Thursday. They expected to participate from Rick Stroud, Tampa Bay Times stated that Ibuka was expected to participate in practice on Thursday. That was not spotted during the early open portion.
Yeah, 2 hours ago, Emeka Ibuka officially does not practice again on Thursday. So he's now gone back-to-back days there, Michael, without practicing. So just gotta be wary. Gotta watch that Friday, Saturday injury report before plugging him in there. The Smitty's got a 2 QB super flex. Is it you start quarterbacks, 2 quarterbacks, and a super flex? So you can play 3 quarterbacks. That would be an interesting league.
I think it's just a 2 quarterback, including a super flex.
Purdy, Daniels, Browning, Jones, and Rattler. RBs are Henderson, Monty, Connors, and B-Rob. Someone replacement for Burrow. Would you trade Browning and Monte for a Dunze and Mason? Again, I don't really like giving up quarterbacks when you're in a super flex league, especially since it seems like Burrow might be done for the year. I kind of want the quarterback that's throwing the chase and all them all season. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the more I read this, I think this is a 2 quarterback with the super flex option. So, Jones is going to be temporary. Rattler's 0-9 now as a starter, I believe, 0-9. So he might get axed. So that would just leave you Purdy, Daniels, who might be hurt, and Brown. And like you said, Chase, Higgins. There's a lot of good options over there. Brown coming out of the backfield. So that would be hard for me to give up on. I do like Romeo and I do like Mason, though.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Aaron Jones on the IL now, 4 weeks, going to miss at the minimum there. And Dunze's been unbelievable. Trevion Henderson obviously hasn't performed yet. I do like David Montgomery and Connors, though, as sort of a core running back duo. Again, given your quarterback situation, I'd want to hang on to Browning there, I think, and kind of run that one through. But all depends on what you're looking for and what you need for wide receivers, I guess. So, let's see. Hank says Judkins, Tillman, or Keenan Allen this week. Quinshon Judkins came back. Didn't have a huge snap share, but basically when he was on the field, they gave him the football, and he did run the ball effectively. Keenan Allen's looked great, though. I'd probably go the Keenan Allen route. Home versus, I think it's the Raiders this week?
No, the Broncos this week.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that he'll be matched up on Surtain. Surtain might have got exposed last week, too. So I'm going with Allen. 15 targets, 12 receptions, 2 touchdowns, I believe. Yeah, that's hard to top.
Yeah, until they give Judkins more of a snap share, it's hard to continually trust him there. But I definitely think Keenan Allen's the way to go. Michael wants to know our thoughts on Marvin Harrison Jr. Once again, Kyler Murray came out because he was asked about the lack of target share for MHJ. And he was like, we're going to do my best to get the ball to him when I can. But, sometimes the plays don't dictate the ball going to him. I'm still, thinking we're going to see a big season out of Marvin Harrison Jr. He's on the road against San Francisco this week, though. Where are you there?
Yeah, I think that's a good option. I mean, Fred Warner's such a good coverage linebacker. Trey McBride might have a little bit of issues, but I don't have the stats from their last 2 games last year. But MGH, I mean, you got to trust him. I think you just got to look at it as like McBride's your high floor guy there, and Harrison Jr. is going to be your big, boomer bust kind of guy.
Yeah. Smitty says his wide receivers are Nico, Metcalf, Jennings, and Ayuk. I mean, again, I think Dunze and Mason are fine. If you want to pull it, I get it. I tend to try to keep quarterbacks, and I like Browning given the options there in that offense. I mean, he just had a 20+ fantasy point game. He was really good a couple of years ago as well. Had more touchdowns than interceptions. I think he averaged 20 fantasy points a game in that start replacement a few years back too. So,
I would say this: if it's only 2 quarterback max, then I'm okay coming off a
yeah, if you
quarterback
can start
to
3
beef
quarterbacks,
up
though,
running
I
back
think
and
you got
wide
to keep
receiver.
Browning. Yeah.
Yeah, if you got 3, you got to keep him, I think.
Hank said he's worried about Surtain. But I think QJ gets the Surtain matchup, right? Surtain plays on the outside mostly, so I
Yeah.
think Quentin Johnson's going to get the Surtain matchup there, and not Keenan Allen necessarily.
Or Harris, even sometimes, depending on how they do it.
Yeah. And then Ralph A wants to know half PPR, pick 2 of ETN, Mason, Kyron, and Ginty.
Shoot, I'm gonna go Mason and well, actually, I'm gonna go Kyron and Travis Etienne because they're playing Houston, I believe. So I think there might be potential for Etienne to bust a big play once he gets past that secondary. And I know Kyron hasn't had the biggest numbers, but I just trust him to get a touchdown more. I do like Mason. I do like Ginty though. So you got a good problem over there, Ralph.
Yeah, I feel like Mason's a play I'm going to go with this week because they have Carson Wentz as their quarterback too. So I just feel like they may try to run the football against Cincinnati this week. So I like Mason. And then did you go ETN or Ginty there?
I went Etienne and Kyron. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So we agree on ETN. We're split on Mason and Kyron there, but you can go in the Discord, Ralph, and get Malin's tiebreaker for us there. Michael says Kenneth Walker seems promising. I mean, listen, Kenneth Walker and Jack Charbonnet still split carries last week. It was just that Kenneth Walker had 100 and whatever yards rushing, and Charbonnet had less than 20, I think it was. So, listen, great matchup against the Saints. So,
Charbonnet's also dealing with the foot issue. I'm
Yeah.
not sure that it'll keep him out, but something to monitor. I do like Kenneth Walker.
Yep, I think Kenneth Walker's in a really great spot going up against the Saints this week. I took Seattle in my survivor pool this week. I think this is one of the few spots where it makes sense to kind of burn that one. I got killed last week. I have 2 survivor entries. I had the Broncos as my other one. They win on the missed field goal, then they get the flag and they lose on the field goal. So that one was unfortunate, but we got one through, so we're still live, and we're going with Seattle in the survivor pool for me this week. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, I love Seattle this week. Tough place to win. And yeah, the Broncos cost me. I had a great parlay with the Pats. Should have cashed out. Don't be scared to cash out there, people. Okay.
Yeah, definitely don't be scared. I mean, again, unfortunate they call that that launching penalty or whatever it is that they have there to protect the center on the blocked field goals. But it is a rule. They know it's a rule, and yet the players sometimes do what they can to kind of get away with it. If you guys have any more questions, again, you can throw them in there. Michael said he dropped Samson for Tootin. Did I make the right call? We'll see. I mean, listen, Michelle Tootin obviously had a good week last week. They traded Tank Bigsby. Dylan Sampson's still a guy you would expect to have passing down work. Quinshon Judkins is going to be their lead running back. Tootin's probably got a better role there in that offense. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think I feel a little bit more comfortable with Tootin, mainly because I know Trevor Lawrence is going to be there. With the Browns, we could get Gabriel, we could get Sanders, and that's just going to throw off the whole rhythm of the backfield. Because I don't think Flacco is going to play all 16, 17 games this season.
Yeah, I agree with you. Trade Kyler Murray and Josh Jacobs for Patrick Mahomes and Jonathan Taylor.
Heck yes, I would.
I'd probably do that deal. I have a hard time trading Josh Jacobs though, but
he's good. I mean, I think his touchdown streak comes to an end this week. It's a franchise record, 12 in a row.
Yeah.
But I think Mahomes might lead all quarterbacks in rushing yards. I know that sounds crazy to some people,
he's
scrambling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no separation from his wide receivers. I mean, he does have no help out there right now, so he's just been rushing like crazy.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Again, Jonathan Taylor and Jacobs are probably a wash by the end of the season, and I would take Mahomes over Kyler if I had to pick one there, so it's fine. We got a shout out to you, Iggy, Bear fan Pete.
What's up? What's up, Pete?
Just traded Debo and Waddle for Nico and Krosky Merritt. How are we feeling?
Nico's got to come on, right? I think that's the question. I think Debo's going to do really well this week. I think he's going to get utilized more than people are anticipating. And I like Waddle, but I mean, if you needed a running back, I think he made a great move. And Nico's got to come on at some point, right? He can't be held down forever.
The hope is Christian Kirk's back this week to kind of take some pressure off Nico Collins. He had the touchdown right away last week, and we're all pretty excited to use it. And then that's all he did. The problem with Houston coming into the season, and obviously doing the research that we do, PFF and Malin, had them basically ranked as like the worst offensive line in football, and that's kind of looked to be the case. Stroud was under pressure constantly in that game last week against Tampa Bay. So, something to watch for there, but I don't mind getting Krosky Merritt. Waddle or AJ Brown in a PPR. I'm going to go AJ Brown this week.
Yeah, I'll go AJ Brown. Same thing. He's got to bust out at some point.
Yep, I agree. What's the best flex this week? Genty, JMO, or Shakir?
I'm gonna go Genty against Washington.
Okay, I don't mind it. Again, eventually, I think he's going to make some big plays. Obviously, Jameson Williams has the big boom potential as we saw last week. Shakir's your 4 play of that group. Guys, we appreciate you all leaving the questions in. If you want to hit that like, share, subscribe button, it's a free way to support the work we do here over at Fantasy Alarm. If you are watching on YouTube, you do see that button to join. If you want to join the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel and be a subscribing member, it's $4.99 a month, and it gives you question priority. You also get some cool emojis, badges, and other perks if you become a paying member of the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel. Again, just $4.99 a month. You'll get question answer priority in our chat, which means we answer your questions first when they come into the stream. So if you want to join, you can certainly check that out. You don't have to, no pressure. We'll still go down the list and answer your questions, but we'll come first. You'll get them first if you pay. Robert says to save money, it's smart to use Ty Johnson in a captain spot. I mean, listen, they do throw the football to Ty Johnson. That's a huge boom bust play. He has $1,600. He had 2.4 fantasy points in week 1. He had 0.6 fantasy points in week 2. So Robert, I mean,
I think that would be wasteful, Robert. But
I don't. In a head-to-head, I don't think you need to necessarily go there. I don't know if you want to eat a 0. Maybe
especially at the captain spot. I mean,
like for $1,000 more, you can play Ray Davis. I mean, he at least gets on the field a little bit. Like
might get a goal line touchdown,
or something like that, right? Dawson Knox. I don't know. Try some shots there, but you really got to hope that he catches 2 passes and takes one for 50 yards or something like that to pay off that. Pittman gonna have a sneaky good season this year. I mean, probably if Daniel Jones keeps playing the way he's playing. I don't know sneaky good. If I know, Michael, you just said you just subbed to the channel. If you were a Fantasy Alarm member, I mean, we were all over Michael Pittman all season. I mean, Coop has like 10 videos on this channel alone telling you guys to draft Michael Pittman, where he was going. I think he was even a flag plan. If you watched our flag plan show, I think Coop had Michael Pittman as one of his flag plan plays of the year. So we've been high on Michael Pittman all season going into the year where he was being drafted. And now, obviously, the way Daniel Jones is playing, it can only possibly pay it off even better. Daniel Jones, trade Daniel Jones, Cup, and DJ Moore for JSN. Now, that's way too much.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
I get JSN's having a huge year right now, and he's going to have a big season, but, I mean, what's your quarterback right now? I mean, I don't want to be – quarterbacks are dropping like flies. I don't know if I want to be trading Daniel Jones right away.
That's a lot. I mean, you're going to have to – I mean, I guess you got 2 other people to pick up after that, but I do not like that move.
Like, what did the rest of your wide receivers look like trading Cup and DJ Moore? So,
yeah, that's a good question.
Morton wants to know, start 2 of the following: AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, and Ibuka. Again, we don't know the Ibuka stack. Hasn't practiced in back-to-back days.
Yeah, I'm going Brown and Scary Terry here.
Yeah, gotta go the Brown and Scary Terry for sure. Ralph wants to know, flex Waddle or Hampton?
Oh man, I haven't really been on Hampton. No disrespect to the GM Jim Bowden over there. I just haven't believed in it. I mean, Harbaugh came back specifically to the NFL to coach Herbert. He said he's the greatest quarterback in this league, and he's turning him into that. So I would take Waddle here.
Okay,
PPR especially.
Yep, and our guy Ralph is a member there. So Ralph, I apologize for not grabbing that one sooner. He is a subscriber to the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel. So got a little Fantasy Alarm badge on his name. So appreciate that.
Thank you.
Michael wants to know, trade Scatabo for Michael Pittman. I guess that follows up his question. Is Michael Pittman going to have a sneaky good season? If you can get Pittman for Scatabo, probably.
Yeah, I would. If that's an option, because Scatabo's going to be good, but are the Giants going to be that good? I don't think so. And honestly, I have Pittman in my one and done use this week against the Titans. So
I like it. And then Morton wants to know, Scatabo or Monty?
I'm going to go Monty.
Yeah, Monty for me as well. Trade James Cook for Justin Jefferson. Jeez,
I
I
have
had
Josh
Josh
Allen.
Allen, Kamara, Warren, Higgins, Neighbors, and Devonta Smith. I mean, you definitely need T. Higgins, Neighbors, Devonta Smith. You want Justin Jefferson. I'm not trading for Justin Jefferson when now they have Carson Wentz as their quarterback. When
I'm
James
not,
Cook gets 5 touchdowns through 2 weeks, or 4 touchdowns, whatever it is, through 2 weeks, I think it is. So I'd rather keep James Cook here, man.
and I just like that you have Cook and Allen. Like somebody's going to get touchdowns, regardless.
Yeah.
You're never going to get skunked by that backfield, I don't think.
Yeah, Jefferson owner is trying to dish off Jefferson with the quarterback uncertainty there. I'm not doing that one.
And Jefferson's a little banged up. He's been going through that quad injury all season. So
One player from each team that's not an obvious play. I mean, you have the Dalton Kincaid first touchdown. So got to think Kincaid probably fits that bill as a non-obvious play.
the Dolphins just have all their targets consolidated to Waddle Hill.
Yeah, I was gonna
Chan.
say,
Like you can't really get away. I mean, I can give you an IDP, give me Brooks, but I know that's not what you want. So I don't think you can stray away from Hill, Waddle, Chan. I mean, in gold, if you want to go for a touchdown, that's about as far as I can go.
yeah. I mean, again, Jalen Wright is active tonight for the first time all year. It's not like they were giving Ollie Gordon much of a workload. It was just Chan the whole way. Yeah, Malik Washington does have some upside with special teams, and then also he does get a couple of targets. So again, there's not really like a non-obvious.
What's Westbrook Aheen? He hasn't been getting any looks, has he?
No, he hasn't. And Tanner Connor didn't get any targets last week. I'm trying to see who's the tight end for without Waller. I mean, there's nothing really there. I would say Kincaid's probably your dart of the non-obvious plays here. Kincaid is actually a bit more expensive than Josh Palmer as well. So maybe he is the less obvious play. Do I start Troy Franklin or Keon Coleman? Franklin's been a monster this year.
I think I like Franklin.
He and Bo Nix have the college connection as well. So
yeah, the Oregon Ducks. I mean, he's just become a target monster. And if Sutton becomes shut down by a corner or they tried to shade Sutton, like coverage his way, it just opens up so much for Franklin because Ingram has not stepped up and been the person that we thought were going to be. Marvin Mims is kind of just like a bomb kind of. He's almost just a go route guy. So I like Franklin a lot.
Would you trade Ramondre and Terry McLaurin, I assume that is, for CeeDee Lamb? Yes.
Yeah, I think I like Stevenson, honestly. Jonathan's our resident Pats fan, but I still would rather have CeeDee.
I would rather have CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, there's more consistency with that. Plus, good matchup this week against Chicago for the Cowboys. So I think CeeDee Lamb's going to have himself a day there. So again, guys, if you have your questions, throw them in the chat. We'll hang around with you guys for a little bit longer here. Give you some recaps as now more of you are all in here. We do have a couple of bets that we liked. Iggy, you want to just kind of recap a couple of your favorites?
Yeah, I really like Chan 70 plus receiving on the alternate line. I got it at 425, full unit on it. And then I also like Kincaid anytime touchdown. It's at plus 280. Play action, big body. Dolphins don't really have anybody over there that can kind of compete with his size.
Yep. I went the James Cook first touchdown tonight at plus 425. I also like the James Cook rushing yards over 69.5. And the Joey Bosa 1+ sack tonight at plus 110 are the bets that I'm on. Again, you can find the rest of our plays over at Fantasy Alarm. If you're not in a spot where there's legal sports betting, we also do Prize Picks, Underdog, Drafters, Sleeper. We cover all of your pick'em needs over at Fantasy Alarm as well. If you go to fantasyalarm.com/offers, we have promo codes galore for any book, any site, anything that you're looking for. You can go take advantage of some deposit bonuses, some really good deposit matches that everybody should be looking to take advantage of here this evening. Ty Johnson anytime is plus 600. That feels low for Ty Johnson anytime. I'm going to pull that one up.
Yeah, that looks super low, I think.
Ty Johnson's an anytime plus 6. He might be viable in showdowns then, because that feels like he should be like plus 6,000.
Yeah, at least plus 1,000.
He is plus 600 for an anytime touchdown tonight. 6-1 on the Ty Johnson touchdown. Feels kind of low. I don't think I'm going to take it, but again, the guy's only got 3 touches all season. But
yeah, I'm staying away from that.
Waddle's plus 185. Palmer's plus 280. Plus 280 for Palmer's not bad. He scored in week 1.
Yeah, Kincaid and him both. So we'll see. I see Jeans there says Indy D or Houston D. I'm taking Indy versus the Titans. Cam Ward has looked like a rookie, so I expect that to continue, and I'd rather have Indy D.
Yeah, I saw someone on Twitter. I think it was FTN data tweeted out a chart today where it was like missed yardage based off like inaccurate throws, and it was Cam Ward as far top right of a graph as you could be, and that is not where you want to sit on that graph. So leaving a lot of yards, basically unrealized yards on inaccurate throws downfield for Cam Ward there. So those could lead to some turnovers. Robert Stone says he's got Cook at over 72.5. Again, I got it this morning at 69.5. So if you're telling me now that yard is at 72.5, I'm feeling pretty damn good on the early. When my article came out, when I bet it this morning, it is now 72.5. So I got 3 full yards of an advantage.
Way to go.
Pays the bet early, I guess, guys. So again, you can go check out my article. I can share the slip too to show you and prove it to you. So yeah, pays to get on that line early today. 72.5 now. Again, I still probably lean the over. I think there's a good chance he rushes for 100 yards today. 80 plus yards for Cook is at plus 118 tonight. If you're going to go 72.5, you might as well just maybe do the 80 and see if he gets it there for you guys. So again, we'll hang around for a few more minutes tonight. If you guys have any more questions rolling in, we'll have it. Of course, we go live here every day at 1 p.m. Eastern. Coop and Iggy live on Mondays, recapping the weeks that was. We have the Fantasy Football Show Tuesday through Thursday from 1 to 2, and then Coop's Fantasy Fiasco on Fridays from 1 to 2, doing the FFPC weekly challenge over there. And then myself and Iggy, obviously, every Thursday here, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We're also live Sundays on the Fantasy Farm YouTube channel, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern time, taking you till noon, answering all your start-sit questions, getting you ready for the NFL Sunday week. So plenty of reasons for you guys to subscribe to the Fantasy Farm YouTube channel so you get notified when we go live. If you guys like other sports as well, we do baseball DFS, NBA DFS, NFL DFS, NFL betting shows. So plenty of content for you guys here over on the channel. Shout out to Ann. She's in our Discord. If you want to join the Fantasy Farm family, we have a 7-day free trial going on. You can sign up there, fantasyfarm.com/win. Scan that QR code. Promo codes annual 25 saves you 25% off the annual all pro package, and monthly 25 saves you 25% off the monthly. This deal ends this week, though. The 25% goes away Sunday. The annual deal gets you the year for $17.99 a month on average. It's a $215 price. The monthly is like $29.98, but again, it gets you access to all sports, not just the NFL, but NHL, NBA, MMA, NASCAR, you name it. We cover it. All of our betting content for all sports included in the all-pro package there as well. So no better time than now to join the family and get this week's DFS content for free.
Yeah, somebody
right now with the 7-day free trial.
Somebody was following the advice, and they did so well. They bought $1,000
Lego
set, Star Wars Lego set. So
yeah,
get out there. That's what I try to encourage you. You get the All Pro. It's going to pay for itself at some point. We just have too many winners, too many people that bet well, too many people that win fantasy football leagues well, and it's just part of it. Just hop on it if you're not on it, and you'll win your money back.
I think it was either last season or the year before. We had a Millie winner, Millionaire Mike, single bullet. He made one lineup in the $5 FanDuel Sunday contest and won it outright. We have the audio from it. He came on the show, told us his strategy. He read the playbook. We do DFS coaches for all of the positions, giving you our favorite plays and values. He used our tools and won $1 million on FanDuel using our All Pro package here. He's a lifetime subscriber now, and obviously he can afford it. He bought a boat with his $1 million. Iggy, you win $1 million. What are you buying?
Probably a house in another country close to the beach, man. I'm up here in the mountains. I miss the beach sometimes.
Tired of being cold sometimes? You want to go? I don't mind that. I went to Turks and Caicos a couple of years ago, and that was like a dream vacay. Me and the wife just sat on the beach, and hung around at the pool. Turks was a fantastic.
Sounds glorious.
Oh, it was everything you want. I'm gonna share the Death Star that we had here. Let's see. Let's
And
see.
I hate to be a spoiler. I have not seen any Star Wars movie from beginning to end. I've seen bits and pieces of several, I guess. But
I have also never seen a Star Wars from the beginning to end here either. But yeah, Kim Newman, she's in our Discord all the time as well. She used our prop finder tool again, guys. If you like betting, whether it's pick'ems, whether it's sports books, props, she used our prop finder tool, which basically takes our projections and identifies the props that you get from these sports books. And it literally just says, hey, we have this guy projected for X. The line is Y. Take this over or under. She went 6 for 6 on the DraftKings bag promo that they were running using our prop finder tool. Won $1,000, withdrew, bought herself a Death Star Lego set here. So again, winners of all kinds over at Fantasy Alarm, using our tools, using our playbooks, using all the information. So you want to go ahead and check all that out. Ralph, final question of the day, week 3, Knicks or May? Got to drop one for Goff or drop one for Goff.
I'm assuming this is 4 for passing touchdown. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have to be Goff, right? Or
yeah. Ralph? What's your passing touchdown scoring? Is it 4 or 6?
and then also real quick, don't be withdraw. Withdraw and treat yourself from when you're winning bets. Don't just recycle it back into the machine. All right, treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Go get yourself something nice. Like you said, going to buy a Lego. I have to ask him how long it's going to take her to put that together.
Yeah, take some dedication. Miles Turner level dedication,
Yeah, exactly. Mile High Luke's got a big gorilla question. I'll wait for Ralph to let us know what scoring is there. Start big 2. Gorilla. Kenneth Walker, Chase Brown, Monty.
Man, that's a tough one. That's a great question. I got to start Walker at home, and I got to think Brown's going to be incorporated more into this game plan, don't you? With the Cincinnati Bengals,
I think so. Yeah, for sure.
So I got to go Chase Brown and Kenneth Walker then.
Yeah, I'm going Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker too. Ralph says it's a 4-point touchdown league. So
yeah,
do you pick up Goff and drop May or Knicks? I mean, I'm not dropping Knicks. May would probably be the drop. As much as I was encouraged by what we saw, I have to take into account that Miami's defense is just really bad right now. So Goff is probably the play, dropping May there. Would you start Goff or Knicks this week, though, is the question.
They don't have so many shares of Knicks, so it's probably a little biased, but I think Knicks is going to do it. He is still scrambling some, It's just he needs to be more consistent with his passes.
Yeah, Colts the Lions on the road, Monday Night Football against Baltimore could be a little bit of a tough spot. So probably going to go with Knicks there as well. Guys, we appreciate you all tuning in. Again, get in that Discord. Go check out Dan Malin's Showdown Playbook. He's also in there answering your start-to-sit questions. Iggy and I will be back next week, Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern time to get you ready for Thursday Night Football. We'll catch you later.